So fans who've been loving Warzone 2.0's DMZ, well, if you fancy playing the game that inspired it all, now might be a good time to jump onto Escape from Tarkov. And I'm actually now joined with the commissioning gaming editor at NME, Jake Tucker, on the show with me to talk a little bit more about it. How are you, Jake? You good?
Yeah, all good. I mean, freezing, but so's everyone.
I
right?
know, literally, it's not a good time at the minute, isn't it? I'm so ready to just get cozy for Christmas, you know. It's getting there, isn't it? So for those people who don't play the game, because there are a few people that have never actually delved into the world of Tarkov before, can you tell us a little bit about Tarkov?
Yeah, I mean, I think DMZ is a really good touch point, actually.
Yeah.
Escape from Tarkov is a battle royale game ultimately, except that rather than being the last one standing, you're just trying to get out with bags and bags of loot.
Yeah.
So you kind of go in, you take your gear in, and you just try and get out of as much stuff as possible. But if you die, you lose everything, and that's, I think, why it's so addictive.
I was gonna say, yeah, because you just want to keep going, don't you? Because you're like, no, I'm not satisfied with that. I need to keep going with that. That's so good. So the game is set to undergo a server wipe as well, which means like everything goes. I mean, how is that frustrating to like have everything like wiped that you've kind of achieved so far in the game?
Yeah, so the weirdest thing for me is that actually the wipe is the best time to play the game. So the problem that Tarkov has at the moment is it's still kind of in its beta period, and
Yeah.
that means that it gets quite stale at the very top end. So
Yeah.
everyone's running around with the best guns, the best armor. All of the firefights are quite boring. So once every 6 months, like give or take, they wipe everything and everyone starts fresh. And there's just something. It's going to sound weird, but like running at someone with like a half-broken shotgun and they've got like an SMG and half a mag of bullets, it's like makes for a lot of really good firefights you just don't get in any other game.
Yeah, I was going to say, because I mean, does it give it like quite a nice level playing field? So if someone was new to join the game, it kind of puts everyone on a similar level, I suppose, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think for about the first week or so, we always refer to it as kind of like early wipe. And the first week, no one has like scopes and no one has like
Yeah.
laser sights, and it's largely just doing whatever you can
Yeah.
because within about 3 to 4 weeks, all the sweaty players have got thermal scopes and they're laying in bushes again. And so you kind of then you're like, oh, I want the wipe to come round again. So
Yeah. We're ready,
it's a
get
cycle.
rid. That's it. So is there any sort of like new content on the horizon for the game as well? Is there anything we're going to expect new feature-wise and things like that?
Yeah, so officially this is patch 13, and there'll be a couple of updates. So there's some really exciting stuff. So we should see the first version of the Streets map,
Yeah.
and that was teased at E3 last year.
Brilliant.
And that's really, really exciting because that's kind of urban combat that fans have been waiting for a long time. We're probably going to see some updates to Lighthouse, which is something else that fans have been waiting for. And we usually get a lot of nice kind of hidden tips and tricks that are just kind of snuck in there as well. So I know that they're going to add the org this time, and there'll probably be a few more guns as well. But the thing with Battlestate Games, unlike pretty much any other developer, is they just never tell you really what they're working on or what's coming. It just kind
Interesting.
of shows up.
Yes, they keep the cards quite close to their chest, which is good because I suppose that kind of stops a few leaks happening as well. So that's kind of good because a lot of games are getting, so many games are getting leaked at the moment. There's so much coming out about games before like people can even play. So, I mean, what would you recommend that if people have never played Tarkov before and they're quite into DMZ of Warzone 2.0, do you think they'd enjoy Tarkov?
Yeah, it's funny because recommending Tarkov is quite difficult because
Yeah.
it's a real pain to get to grips with. But if you're
Yeah.
already playing on PC and you can hit your shots, you have a good time. If
Yeah.
not, it's still worth it. I know so many people that played like Warzone and then got really, really into Tarkov. Like most of the guys I play with every night are console players that came over to play Tarkov because they'd watched a couple of YouTube videos on it. And if you're willing to put the work in, it really is fantastic.
Yeah, that's it. I think, well, and because Tarkov inspires Warzone, I think with the DMZ in particular, I think, you know, it's quite to see the origins are there. I mean, in your opinion then, Jake, what do you prefer in honesty? Do you prefer Tarkov or would you prefer the DMZ? Putting you on the spot there, right?
Yeah, someone's going to get angry at me on Twitter no matter what. But
That's it, wait for the hashtags to come out.
I think Tarkov is a better game. I prefer the firefights. I prefer the kind of economy. I like getting out of a rucksack full of stuff.
Yeah.
But if you're just kind of like slouching around with some friends, sitting there on DMZ is way more fun. Like slapping AI is a lot more fun. It's just it's a smoother game to play, and there's a whole lot less like pressure, which I quite like when I'm chilling out.
Literally. I mean, that's the best way. I mean, so for anyone that's like new to the game and thinking about getting involved and playing Tarkov, have you got any like loadout recommendations that are good to start people off with?
Yeah, I mean, if you can hit your shots, the Mosins are fantastic. Like anything kind of bolt action,
Yeah.
that will kill with a headshot. But most of the time, just grab a shotgun and get in there. And if you
Just
start
go
late in
for
the wipe,
it.
just pick up anything that will kill someone.
That's it.
It
That's it.
kind of gets a bit silly.
That's literally the point of the game, isn't it? So, do you find it quite an
Yeah.
intense game? Does it get quite? I mean, you said it's really addictive, which I think is great. That's the great word. But does it get quite intense as well?
Yeah, it's probably the most intense game I've ever played.
Really?
I regularly get this thing. I'm quite a calm guy, but the amount of times that I've screamed and shouted because like something has happened and it surprised me, and I'm just having like pacing back and forth here behind the desk.
Have you had some rage quits as well? Have you been like, right, no, I'm done with this game. I'm raging. I'm off. See you later.
So I basically never rage quit, but the amount of times that people that play with me are like, I'm going, and it's not because I've just died, it's because I just want to go and play this racing game instead. I'm like, okay, mate,
Yeah,
I'll be here when you want to
cool
come
off.
back.
Yeah, when you want to come back. Oh, well, Jake, thank you so much for joining us. And honestly, thank you, because as someone who's never played Tarkov before, it's really great to see like what makes it so unique. And it does sound like such a great game to get involved with. So hopefully we'll nick some DMZ players over to Tarkov soon. You might have swayed them.
Yeah, give it a go. Cheers.
That's it. Thank you so much. Have a lovely day. Catch you soon.
Thanks.